On today's Motivational Monday, here's a quote for you. No matter what your line of work, even if it's a technical profession, your degree of success depends upon your ability to interact effectively with other people. Let me say that again. No matter what your line of work, even if it's one of a technical profession, your degree of success depends upon your ability to interact effectively with other people, by Dale Carnegie. So, as we start with this dialogue today, think about how we're able to better educate ourselves, better communicate, how we learn, how we're able to go that next step. Today, let's think about how we do that in the office. Don't worry about all those external trainings. Think about the interactions you have every day and learning opportunities you have from that, from the meetings you have, from the information gathered. One of the best tools I've found, as far as I used to do all this training, and I still do get quite a bit of training out externally. But what I found in the workplace is by taking notes, copious notes, I learned a lot more in the meeting than what was talked about. I was able to better articulate in my own words what everyone else was communicating. It made sure also I would receive the message. I had it down for future reference. In today's day and world, we get so busy. It's like, oh, we'll remember that. That's easy to remember. But do you? How do you better communicate? How can you look at that? So when you talk about that meeting, it may be something you had last week, last year, et cetera, and it comes back. Are you prepared for that conversation? Do you remember how it happens? Do you know that actually there's a significant percentage increase of you remembering more by writing down what you heard? Yes, it's true. It's fact. By writing down your notes, you're able to move forward. So why do I bring this up for this month on the Motivational Monday? Is because we all struggle in how we move forward. We get busy in our worlds. But is our busyness really effective? Is our busyness helping us? Are we reflecting upon why we're busy and how we can leverage it so we can become not as busy? Think about that. How can you make your time more open by better communicating yourself and reflecting upon, is the meeting worth attending? Even if it's a required meeting, great. Is it more important what's already on your plate? And can you leverage what's being talked about in that meeting from a content perspective, communication style perspective as far as understanding others' perspectives to help you grow? We don't think about that. We're so reactive in our worlds, whether it's asset management, software asset management, hardware asset management, or even configuration management, that we don't think about that. But it's an opportunity to grow. And we're already in the mix. We're learning every day. We're learning every minute, every hour when we do something. So how are you leveraging that? Sometimes it can be reading a book in the morning. I know I've read books like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you haven't, that's definitely a keeper. Or How to Win Friends and Influence Others by Dale Carnegie. Those books, even though they are literally about 100 years old, they're still readily available and very proficient even for today's day and age. You'll be amazed. You're going to say, oh, that's old school, Bill. We don't do that anymore. Take a look for me. Just take a look. You'll find them on the internet. Take a look, start reading it. You'll read some of the greatest things you've ever done. 30 minutes a day will get you that much further on your capabilities. So bring it back around. Better communicating. How can we leverage this in the workplace with what we're already doing? How can we better communicate, be able to articulate our messaging as well? Well, we have the opportunity, right? Talk with stakeholders. Talk about how feedback or insights to have an additional conversation. That conversation alone is something, as Dale Carnegie said in our quote this morning, helps you interact with other people, other individuals, your peers, stakeholders, your management. It's about practice. As technical folks, we get so caught in our ways, it's all in our head, right? How we communicate outbound, we try our best to put it in written form. but the written form, black and white, may not be interpreted correctly. Similar to this message right here, I could have put this into a text. I decided not to. I decided to show you the inflection. I showed you see my voice, you hear my voice, you see me in this case with even video, because the message gets across clear. It's a much easier than reading it in textual form and not understanding the inflection, the importance behind it. Communication is key. In today's day and age, we get so much on our phones, emails, etc. Let's get back to basics. So here's the little task for you today and for your entire week. As you go into that next meeting, set of meetings, next couple of days, take some notes, take lots of notes, bulletize it, have something to reflect. You may not be able to capture all the notes, but get some key notes out there. Make sure you have part of your day to actually review those notes daily or every other day. And set aside time for you to say, what was the outcome from that? Did I achieve what I needed out of that meeting and for me to attend? Or do I need to have someone else attend the next meeting because they're more adept to be engaged with that conversation versus me? That's going to free you up some time. That's the one thing that we cannot replace is time. How can you make that better for you? How can you better enable yourself that next step? So that's the Motivational Monday I have for you. Think about how to move yourself forward. That's an educational opportunity with very little of effort. You're already doing it today. It's all about how you focus. You actually put any feedback in the chat. I'm all about it. Put some dialogue there because this is about you. Sure, you get all the noise from all sorts of different things in our industry. Well, at the end of the day, that's great. But that doesn't help you overall collectively move forward as a foundation. So how can you move that step forward? Because when you walk in that office and you're not ready to communicate, you don't know what to look for those key pieces for an upcoming meeting. Okay, so you know software licensing, great. Are you talking to the right audience that understands it? At what level are you going to communicate it? Are you struggling with that? Do you need to talk with someone beforehand? Not trying to throw anybody under the bus, just the opposite. I'm trying to make you successful. Some of the basics we don't talk about in our industry is what I bring up within the co-op. So feel free to reach out to me. Reach out to me, DM me. Look at the co-op. We're here for you. Dialogues like this, we have all the time. Masterminds, because at the end of the day, I want you to be successful. At the end of the day, I want you to feel confident in what you do to go that next step. At the end of the day, I want you to be able to distinguish between the noise and the reality. So that makes you successful. Mr. Bill here, feel free to reach out. I'm here for you. I look forward to talking with you again soon. Catch you then.